Hello everyone, good morning. For today's video we will be having a quick tips and trivias about ball python.
Okay, so let's start. So, Siri, what are ball pythons to begin with?
Ball pythons, sometimes known as royal pythons, are one of the more popular pythons in the world. They are non-venomous and compared to other snakes, they are much more docile. They are very rarely known to bite either in the wild or in captivity. And though they are related to giant snakes like our Burmese python, they are much smaller and manageable, making them a favorite of exotic pet enthusiasts.
What do they look like?
These ball pythons are mainly dark brown or black in color. They have a cream-colored belly with some areas of black on it and have lines of tan or gold on the body in some locations. The, the coloring really depends on where they live. The idea is for the colors to allow them to easily blend into surrounding area. Ball pythons also have a small head with smooth scales on their underside. True to their nature as constrictors, they have quite girthy bodies that pack a lot of power. Just like our fingerprints, no two pythons have the same design. Each snake's coloration and pattern is slightly different and unique, and just like their cousins, the Burmese python's selective breeding has made it possible for ball pythons to have different color marks. So don't be surprised if you see one that isn't typical brown and gold color.
Okay, so I get why Burmese pythons are called Burmese pythons. But where do ball pythons get their name from?
That's a good question. Remember how we mentioned that ball pythons are quite shy? Well, that particular trait plays a part of their name. See, when these snakes feel threatened or stressed out, they tend to curl into themselves and tuck their heads in, making them look like a ball. They can even roll away while still maintaining this ball-shaped form when the situation calls for it. While we're on the subject of common names, ball pythons get their alternative name royal pythons from the belief that the famed Queen Cleopatra allegedly wore these gorgeous snakes as bracelets on her wrist. This is also why their species name is Regius, which translates to royal. Now we can't say for sure if this is true, but it's quite the fashion statement, right?
Yes, it is indeed. Are these ball pythons dangerous? Like, do they even bite?
No, and they rarely do. Ball pythons are docile snakes, but they can be very friendly and comfortable being handled by humans. An adult ball python will actually enjoy wrapping itself around the person's arms or wrist, but can easily be unwrapped as needed. Keep in mind that these snakes are head shy, so making sudden movements should be avoided when interacting with one.
Okay, I'll take note of that. But what's a ball python's distribution? Are they native to the Philippines or not?
No, in fact, they are found in a completely different continent. Ball pythons are found in Africa, particularly in Ghana and Togo, and they can also be found in Senegal, Mali, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Chad, Cameroon, Sudan, Uganda, Guinea, and Sierra Leone.
I see. Do they occupy the same habitat as Burmese pythons?
I must say, sort of, but pythons tend to stay in the wooded areas, the grasslands, and the savannas, though they also move about to various locations in search of food. Most of the time, they can be found slithering on the ground, but like Burmese pythons, they also go into the trees or the water at times. They prefer areas with some source of water in the vicinity where they can cool themselves. Of the species are larger and heavier and usually live a more terrestrial lifestyle. The smaller males live in a semi-arboreal environment, which means they spend some of their time in the trees and some on the ground. Ball pythons also spend of their time on or under the ground in burrows. They are almost active at dawn and dusk.
You mentioned that ball pythons, while related to Burmese pythons, don't grow to be quite as gigantic as the latter. So how big do they grow?
Ball pythons can range from 25 to 43 centimeters or 9 to 16 inches at birth and can grow to 1 to 1.5 meters or 3 to 4 feet as adults. However, there have been reports of ball pythons in the wild at 1.83 meters or 6 feet in length, though this is quite a rare case.
And I'm going to assume that they also shed as they grow?
That's right. Ball pythons shed their skin periodically. A sign to look out for is when their eyes start to look cloudy or grayish. Once this happens, the shedding will commence very soon. The process takes approximately 1 to 2 weeks. Ball pythons will take to rubbing against trees to aid the process. They are also known to get quite irritable at this time, so watch out. But what about their average lifespan?
Captive ball pythons can live up to 50 years, but the average lifespan is approximately 30 years. In the wild, due to predators, their lifespan is much shorter, only being up to 10 years.
Oh, okay, so what do these snakes feed on?
Ball pythons almost exclusively prey on rodents and would happily chow down on wild rats and mice. Looking at it from a bigger picture, this is a win-win situation, as ball pythons get to eat and the population of these pests are kept in control, which benefits humans quite a lot too, especially in rural communities.
Well, you're absolutely right, Adrian. So, how do they hunt for their prey, though?
Like Burmese pythons, a ball python also uses its heat-sensitive pits to locate and capture its prey. These pits can detect very slight changes in temperature. Ball pythons sit and wait to ambush prey. As heavy-bodied snakes, they are less active and instead choose good ambush sites. The feeding strategy is to retract the head and neck and strike rapidly. After the rapid strike, they swallow prey alive or immobilized by constriction. They feed almost exclusively on rodents and eat infrequently. Infrequent feeders have adapted by having the captivity or the capacity to widely regulate gastrointestinal functioning with feeding and fasting. Like most snakes, ball pythons are designed with the ability to disengage their lower jaw, enabling them to swallow their prey whole. While feeding, the ball python can still breathe since its windpipe is placed on the floor of its mouth. They also have an upwards of 100 recurved teeth, or teeth that curve inward, which are used to hold prey until the snake can kill them by constriction.
Oh wow, that sounds scary. Moving on to another topic. How do these snakes reproduce?
Ball pythons have long reproductive lives that last from about 27 months to 30 years. The breeding season is primarily from mid-September through mid-November, correlating with the minor rainy season. The female will breed only once every 2 or 3 years. The eggs of this snake are very big and there are usually between 4 and 6 of them in a clutch. After laying their clutch of eggs in a burrow, female ball pythons coil around their clutches until hatched, after approximately 2 months.
And that's it for today's video. Thank you everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe and click the notification bell para updated kayo sa next videos namin.